All right, so welcome back. I'll just review quickly. So we're trying to look at how to prepare our papers for publication so that we can add value to ourselves or CV, and then for better jobs offer home and abroad. All right, so like I said before, so when you're presenting a paper to be published, it's called manuscript. So your manuscript, you have to expunge so many things that you use in your original research report. All right. So, like I've said before, your table of contents is not needed. List of tables, all those are not needed. You expunge them. All those preliminary papers, pages are not needed. So, just your title and then your affiliates. So, a few persons that collaborated are here, and then the abstracts. All right. So the abstract, we know that's what you write at the end of the paper. All right. So if I've written one already after your research, fine. But for your manuscripts to be submitted, so you have to probably look at your abstract again and refine it and make sure that there's no grammar error, spelling error, all those things. Okay. Because reviewers don't want to be correcting grammars. They don't want to correcting spellings. They want to rather look at something better like technical review or something so that they can, make a paper better. All right. So but then you have to also do your work properly. So after abstracts, you may want to add graphical abstracts, highlights, and stuffs. Like I said in your introduction, you expunge sections for aim, objective, significance, limitation, and scope, and all those stuff. You can infuse them into your introduction and make it one page. Or if it's your words are too much, you can make it 1.5 page, just like this. You can see. And then my starting point were with Launchpad into what's happening right now in the world. You can see here, I make sure I talked about what's happening right now and even make a forecast and then make some references so that people want to like, okay, see, they want to make also reference to you, what you have said, and they want to see if it's sits well in the literature. So, and then why the paper or why the research? Like I said, your research, okay, now you said my research, my this, so now you convert them to my paper or my work. Okay, so the kind of terminologies you want to use. So the more graph or pictures you have, original pictures and original graph like this is the original picture, the more your work will be cited and visible. Okay, like I link this work now to the future, okay, which is what net zero, sustainability, biodegradable alternatives, and then so people want to talk about it and they are referencing this paper because of that. And this paper has gotten over 300 downloads, I think over 500 downloads and a lot of citations. Okay. Aside that, you publish it in the right place, like this is published in UK. So you also make sure that you put the right things there so that people can value your paper. So, like I said, you expunge your literature review so that the next chapter will be methodology, which is this, and then the way you write methodology, listing the equipment and all of that in a very decorative way is not needed here. Okay, I just have to list them up and put them all together because of space. Space is very important. You manage space because if you're sending something to the world to read, nobody wants to read 1,000 pages. The maximum pages your paper should have, if I want to tell you as a starter, maybe 25 pages, which is okay. Some people might even tell you to cut it down to 10 pages, depending on the paper or the journal. So you can see, and then you make references to papers that have worked in this area so that your work can sit well with them. So I cited a lot of people, and you can see this 33. So it was converted to numbering by the publisher themselves. I left it in a APA, but the publisher will decide what style they want. And then during the review or during the publication process, they can decide that. So you can see all of that. This is my initial chapter 3, now chapter 2 in this paper. This is my initial chapter 4, now chapter 3 in this paper. And then to write this very paper, this article or this manuscript, when during submission, we have to rewrite and refine, okay, a lot of things to make it very communicable and current. Okay, this is the data. And then this is, I use Bosbaken, okay, design methodology, and then generated this is the expected design equation, okay, the formulae, and then we work in that direction. So to get this, you can see these are the control, these are the surface plots, and then we discussed statistical modeling that was done, and then we optimize it using composite desirability of 0.071. So you can see we got this model eventually following that same formula. You can see, and then this paper as we've received a lot of views, a lot of citations, and then they have even called me to write a book on this paper because of the way it was created. At the time I was writing this paper, I was lucky to be called by a professor who actually also gave me some hints on how to better write it. And so that's why this paper is having a lot of visibility. And a book might be coming out from this paper next year, maybe December this year or January. And that's also why I'm super busy aside my PhD research. Okay, so I think we are done with this. So we now move to the next one, which is this is manuscript. So I've encouraged you now. So start writing a manuscript, follow this method, follow this process, and then start submitting it on the group from Tuesday. All right. So, or let me give us 1 week. 1 week. That is next week, Friday. So start submitting it on the group. And to submit it, just start with your name, and the title, and the dates. Okay, dates at which you edit it, or you can just say next week will be what 12 or 11, just say 11 June 2026. Okay, so the next thing for us to look at is uh research gates. Yes, I really want this research gate. Or before this research gate, let's talk about similarity index and plagiarism. So you want to make sure that your paper does not have is not plagiarized. So during writing of your manuscript, you want to paraphrase almost all the things you have written because many people fall victim of just downloading something online and pasting directly, perhaps because that was their customary way of doing it during their bachelor. Okay. But if you have been warned or taught during your bachelor, you will know that that is not good enough. That's plagiarism. Okay. So in this regard, you will have to refine and then rephrase all the words that has been said. And then whatever you have picked from anywhere, from any site, any paper, you have to rephrase it in your own word and then cite the person that said it, and then whatever you want to add, whatever context you want to put, you put them. So this makes your work to avoid plagiarism. And then after the plagiarism avoidance and you have done your paraphrasing, then you submit that work to a central place called Turnitin. So that's one I can help you with that at a fee. So because Turnitin is actually a credit-based site, you have to pay to do it, but there's a lot of process of getting your MasterCard, getting your D's and all of that. So when you're ready, you've done your manuscripts, you've done your paraphrasing, and you want to do your Turnitin, you can send them to me. I'll check the number of words that is there, and I will check on their site, and I'll let you know what is the cost for checking the similarity index. So once the similarity index is low, let me finish, Franklin. Just note your question, write it down, please. So when your plagiarizing index is low as 19, you have to target 19 or even 18. All right. So if it's low as 18, okay, you can then now submit to the journal or to the publishing house. Okay, there's so many publishing house that you can submit to, which we'll look at in later after this meeting. We'll put them on the group so you can see them. Okay, but let's start submitting the manuscript first. Okay, so please note that. Then the next is our ResearchGate. Now, if you are publishing or you have intention to publish, you must have an account with ResearchGate. So this is the website. You can see it, researchgate.net. And then I think I put on the group before, but many maybe not. So when you get to this place, they will ask you to sign up. You can use your email, your school email. Many of you have school email either from your undergraduate or your postgrad. Okay, so you use it. If you don't use it, they will ask you to pay for this research gate because it's not free. It's only free for academics or for students doing research. And you're a student doing research, okay, or you have done research. So, and for them to know that, you have to put your email, your school email. So that is this. You can see my own many researchers are here and then they have score. So whatever you're doing, whatever paper you're publishing, people are studying it, downloading it, referencing it, you'll be seeing your score, and then this can make them to call you. I've received several calls from employers, schools because of these points. So this is my own current research interest point. And then you can see I've gotten 10 citations. I will not tell you lies. I actually started publishing late. My students, those that I taught in the past, because I work in the university, they've started publishing earlier, and then some of them even have like 200 research score already. And so he's also doing his PhD somewhere now. After finishing his PhD, he can go for a senior lecturer straight up because his research score is so high. That means he has started publishing on time, and then he now has something. So that's what you are also going to do now. You want to leverage on timing and on some of our experience and collaboration with your friends. Like now, if two people has one paper and you both publish together, that's two papers for two of you. So now we are about 10. So if you times all of us drop one paper and we multiply by 10, that's 10 paper for all of us instead of having one paper. And then when you publish that, and you do it properly, everybody does their assignment properly, check plagiarism, do everything correctly. In the space of 1 year, your point will boost to 20, to 30, and then before you know it, you start, putting your hands in a PhD scholarship, and they'll just give you because they always go and check if you actually what qualify, if you have been doing something before. Okay, so like a number of interviewers, I don't want to say so much about myself, but just know that. Okay, all right. So I think we are done. Any questions? Question time, please. It's question time. So while we are expecting question, you can see the researchgate just survey. This is you can do your profile here. Okay, you can do your profile here. You can just edit, like here I edited here, and then or you can edit here once you sign up, and then you can upload. You can add your research here. This is your stats. You can see your start every week. Like I check my start every week. Even if I don't check, they send it to my email. Okay, so people following me, they have lists. Okay, so there's a whole lot these are the people following me. This is my saved list based on the research I'm doing right now and based on what I'm studying. Okay, you even have access to download some free journals there because you're a member. And so this is my current research. You can see what I've posted recently. You can see um this, this one is published recently in the International Journal of Exergy. This is the one we talked about, published in UK. This one is in US. So you can see this is published in the Yabatech conference journal. This is NSCHE. This is a book chapter also in UK. So this is
Yusuf Shoaib.
this one is I think Uniben. So there are all you know places for you to get your papers published. All you just have to do is have to get started. Question time, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for the explanation. But I have a question. You talked about the original images on the journal.
Yeah.
Are we the one that are we supposed to generate it ourselves, or is it that we're not supposed to download it as a picture from Google or something?
Very good. So if you have a picture on Google, that is someone's picture. All right. So if you do it like that, you have to cite the person, and then nobody will be citing you for the picture you cited because it's someone's picture. So what I did was like this very one now is my graphical abstract. Okay. So after I finished the work and I wrote my abstract, and then now think, what am I saying? Then I know what I'm saying, right? And I'll go and look at other people graphical abstract. Look at the abstract, look at the graphical abstract, and I saw what they were saying and what they pictured. Okay, then I'll go look for how to do graphical abstract. So now I can teach you that right now. So to do graphical abstract is very simple. Once the abstract is saying something, then you picturize it. So now my own abstract, now look at what my abstract is saying now. Let me just quickly teach you that in a minute. My abstract is saying that bioplastics are of great importance and are valuable in domestic and industrial applications, and they are eco-friendly. And then in this work, I focused on synthesizing and optimization of plastic from waste corn, okay, using experimental design like post-packing, and then doing it on Minitab. And then I talked about the parameters that I got and how the model fits, okay. And then I talked about the, what's it called, optimized process condition, okay. And then I now said that this work revealed that waste maize can be turned into bioplastic for what electrical installation and what packaging. So now I mentioned that biodegradable too in the abstract. So when you now come here, you see that I'm talking about the waste maize, right? The waste maize will come from where? Corn. And then the corn now Some of them will be wasted, right? So either due to poor loading, poor storage, infestation, and all of that. Okay. I'll not collect those waste con and then bring it to the laboratory and use buzzpacken, whatever I do in the laboratory, my experimentation to get this bioplastic. Then they are used in what? In this application, packaging and what? Insulation. Then they are degradable. They go down to give more corn. You see that now. So that's what I'm not, that's the message. And I put it this way because my message is under circularity, agro material circularity. So this is what I now use to explain it. Another person can also be doing his own agro circularity and it explains something else. It may not even be a circular thing. It may be something straight. It may be something zigzag. It may be a life cycle. Do you get? So that is what it's all about here. Then moving on to this one, I actually have a similar stuff that I cited before in my work, in my submitted project. But on doing this, the professor advised that I should write my own, draw my own. So I synthesized my own, but it's not exactly the way that one is. It's different, add more value. Okay. So I went to use what's it called PowerPoint drawing to draw it. And this is it. Now everybody is citing it because it's talking more about the waste. This is dump sites whereby microplastic are just infiltrating into the water, into the water body. These are what people do. They just dump this, dump that, and this is all the plastic is coming from what? From the industry. So, and then this is man actually doing this discharging, and this is the problem that is creating. Then under it, and I said something that is beneficial to you, to men, to man. Okay, so that is what will make people after they read it, they want to cite it. Okay, or they want to draw their own too. So if they want to cite it, then you get a point. Then these ones are the pictures from the what from the lab, and then these ones are what's it called? These are my surface plots. GC now they're also figures. They are my own personal figures from the lab. These are my optimization, and then these are my tables. So these are original stuffs from me. So when I'm doing plagiarism check, it's going to be very, very low. Okay. I also paraphrase some of the things that I probably got online that I now tag people or cite them. Okay. So I paraphrase that because I wrote a lot of things from online in this introduction. This introduction even add stuff from my initial review also because I have to summarize everything in one page or 1.5 page. Exactly.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? I think Franklin was trying to ask something the other time.
So please, another one. Do we have to just use original image? Like, do must we include original image in the work?
Okay, if you see original image by this, right? Like what I did. So if what you did
Yes.
is experimental, show your experimental setup. If you have a setup, and then label it and talk about it. Then if it has what's it called? Samples. Show your sample, talk about it. So these things are then they now make it original because you did something. You did a research, you want to communicate it to the world. So they want to see what you did. Do you understand? So that's why you're putting them. But if you do something and you're not putting the pictures, you're just talking letters. Letters actually, let me use the word kill it because everybody will just be what? It's just be boring. Like, what are you writing? Okay. But when you had your pictures, the things you did and all of that, and if possible, say probably you are there doing something and you have to be doing and show them how to do it. You could want to add your own picture yourself. Some people do it depending on what you're doing, depending on the context. So it makes people see exactly what you're doing and then makes your work more original.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for
You're welcome, Franklin.
the lecture. I want to ask, can a research work have two main authors? Like two of you worked on it equally. Uh,
Yes. It can have two main authors. I know where you're going, but when they want to score it, the person in the front will get more mark than the person at the back. So that's just it.
okay.
Yes, so you agree who's going to be in the front, but it's not a big deal. You guys are just starting, so whoever in the front does not matter because it is always 80% for the person in the front and 70% for the person at the back. So you don't know what your score will be eventually. If your score is 5 points, that's 80% times 4 times 5, that's 4. If your point will be 3 points, so it should be 80% times. So that's it. But if you are the only author, that's you collect all the points. But then, if you have two papers and then you people collaborate, you have two papers. That means your mark will be more. Do you understand? So if you're talking about having 10 papers now, and all of us put one paper together to be 10, that's 10 for me. So if I'm getting even from number 3 or number 4, and I'm getting just two marks, two marks times 10, that's 20 marks. Than only me submitting and getting 4 marks.
Yes.
So many of you wants to finish and then go to professor line or industry, like, so that's just it. Yes, any other question? Our time is actually up, so I'll just take one more question before we end. Okay, so you can see how objective this class is. Yes, it was supposed to be a meeting. So I presented and then you ask questions, which is good. So next one, it will be more interactive. So I want you to go and write your manuscript and start putting on the group so that I can ask you questions, then we can discuss, then we can have, we can begin to, come deeper and then go more objective. And then I'm seeing that we can start publishing from the next 1 month. So if you start submitting from next week, and then we start doing your checks, then we can start submitting from next 1 month. Yes, Franklin, go ahead. That's the last question we have. Just 2 minutes to go.
Okay, sir. I just want to ask if you have a work you're working on presently, and you need some hands on it, someone who can collaborate with you.
Exactly why I put up this initiative. You guys have a lot of work that you have done, and then we can collaborate on it. I also have work that I'm doing. I'm doing PhD. So I have a lot of papers. I have like 5 papers already, not yet published. Okay. So, and each of you has 1 papers. Okay. But my 5 papers, I just say 5. It's more than 5. I have like 6 or 7. Okay. So, and each of you has one. So if you all two, let me say if your literature review is written by you and you have done a lot of work, so you can convert that to 1 paper to make into 2. Okay. So we can always collaborate together and then do it together. So where do I come in? I've come in by explaining how to do this this manuscript, and then you have understood it. When you are done, so I will proofread so that when you are done with everything, I mean, including plagiarism, check, paraphrasing, and all of that. So I will proofread to be sure that everything is in phase. So my own correction for your work will be proofreading. And if there's any serious thing that needs to be done, so I will advise you to do it. Okay. And then we'll move ahead. So I'll be doing more like proofreading, reviewing. If there's a place I can add something, I will draft, and then that's how I will collaborate. Then you guys would publish it. While I'm also a co-author, you are a co-author. For my work, or any work that I am collaborating with you and my name is appearing, I can decide also to bring you into my work if you have an idea of what I am doing. Do you understand? And then you can add value to it, and then you also can come out as a co-author. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. So thank you all. So this is just to make our publishing very easy and very, very fast. There are a lot of people publishing already that are very younger than us and very older than us. So age is nothing in publishing. I missed it when I started by thinking that until I got a PhD, that's when I'll be able to publish. And then I don't even have a PhD now. I published over 10 papers. Many of my students have published over 40 papers. I know a guy that has published over 200 papers. And then I did the study into him. I saw that the only way he got that is by collaboration. Okay. And then that guy got a PhD scholarship in Cornell. And the other one in Alabama. So, so if we allow ourselves to collaborate, many of you can get those opportunities. I already begin my PhD here and I'll be finishing soon. All right. So if your papers are also out, you could also get your scholarship, your work, your job, better assignments, and better opportunities. So I wish you all the best. Have a nice day.